This offensive scheme is going to help you dominate the run game and the pass game against any opponent. Let's get right into it. So we are in the run-heavy offensive playbook. And the first formation we're going to go over is under single back called ace. And the first play we're going to look at is called stretch alert X looking. This play makes the defense have to cover a run and a pass all in one. But to optimize the run blocking scheme, you want to ID the mic on the furthest defender on the side that you are running. And with the right blocking, you're going to be off to the races. But if the corner on the back side is off the receiver, you'll have that RPO pass for an easy 5 to 10 yards. Now, after you run this a few times, your opponent's going to think you're being predictable. But then you're going to go to HB smash. And what you're going to do is double team any defensive lineman that is in the A gap. But if there is no defensive lineman in the A gap, all you got to do is just press A and you're off to the races again. These combinations of those two plays will leave your opponent guessing. But now we need more variety. So we're going to go under the passing attack under center. And the first play we're going to go over is called ace wide receiver stretch. Now this play base is just meant for zone. It beats zone every single time. And when you constantly mix up your plays, your opponent will never see it coming. That stretch route by the tight end is open so many times. All you got to do is read the outside linebacker. If the outside linebacker backs up at all or stays where he is, you'll have that quick stretch route right away for an easy 5 to 10 yards. And if he breaks the tackles, you'll never know if it's a touchdown. And with that, you have two go routes on the left side and a crossing route coming from the right side. And in case you think it's a man defense when you run this play, you can put the backside receivers, those two goes, one guy on a slant, the other on a zig, and now you have one side beating man and the other side beating zone. The next pass play we're going to go over, still under the ace formation, is called tight end cross. This play can work against man or zone. When you're up against man, you can look at that post route and see if he can beat the corner one-on-one. But if not, you still have those crossing routes by the tight ends. And if you feel that nothing's open, you can always put your running back on a check down route just to make sure you have someone to throw it to. But with all of those plays, now we need to mix in the play action. And the first play action we're going to go over is called PA flood under the single back east formation. Now this play can work against man, zone, or any type of blitz. Put your best receiver on the backside post route, and then everybody else on the strong side is running a flood concept. Now in this play here, my opponent decided to blitz, and it led that post route backside wide open. And because it was a play action, I was able to block the blitz well and have enough time to throw it deep down the field. But with that, I was still able to get some guys open on the strong side with that flood concept. And one thing you can also do is put that go route on the strong side on a slant, so you have a crossing route just in case you need another guy open if it's a man defense. The next play we're going to go over is called PA Power Zero under the wing tight single back formation. Now I would never run this play base, but something I would do to mix it up a little bit if your opponent is playing man constantly is to put the outside receiver on a slant, motion him over, and as soon as he gets to the other side, snap the ball, and now he has a running start on the slant route, which usually leaves them wide open like you see here. And again, this is one of my favorite route concepts against man. And with that slant, you still have a crossing route coming from the other side. Now let's talk about must-pass situations and goal line offense. First, we're going to go over passing situations. Now, the first pass I want to go over is under the bunch tight end set under shotgun. And this play that we're about to go over is lethal. It is called tight end corner. This play can be any coverage the defense throws at you. In this play that I'm showing you, I knew that my opponent was going to blitz. So I motioned the least likely receiver to be thrown to in towards the offensive line to use him as an additional blocker. And now the rest of the route concepts are extremely hard to guard for any user or any defense. With two corner routes and one post up the middle, for any man coverage, that is extremely hard to guard because those are man beating routes. And for zone coverage, you just have to find the holes in the zone and throw it to that receiver. In this play here, you can see that Jefferson's post route beat the defenders by a step or so. But the goal of this play is to have enough time to throw it to these intermediary routes. Now for the next play I want to go over is called the inside switch in the same formation. This route concept that I created was actually really unique and extremely fun to run. All I did here is motion the inside receiver and put him on a slant on the other side. So he now turns into the outside receiver on the right side. Then I put the running back on a wheel route. And after I put the running back on a wheel route, I actually motioned the receiver that I just motioned to this side in towards the offensive line. But before he reaches the offensive line, I'll snap the ball so he has a running start into his slant route. And that could give him a good release to be open crossing the field. But that actually leaves another crossing route on the opposite side as a post route. So now you have two routes that are crossing each other. Then on top of that, you have a corner route and a wheel route. And in this play, you can see that against a man defense, that wheel route is deadly. But even though I threw it to the wheel route, these other routes will cause your opponent big problems. Now I want to talk about one of the toughest places to score on the football field, especially in Madden, which is the goal line. If you are anything like me, you struggle on the goal line a lot. For some reason, I just can't seem to score on the goal line, but this play has helped me tremendously. The play is in the full house formation called angle wing. Now this formation is extremely hard to guard because you have three people in the backfield, but that triangle route is really what I want to talk about. If you play Madden a lot, you know that triangle routes are very hard to guard. But if your opponent's not ready for it, it will be open every single time. But let's say your opponent is ready for it. Now you still have two other people in the backfield to throw to, including two receivers. Now, if I think that the triangle route will not be open, something I may do is actually put another person in the backfield on a wheel route and the other on an out route. This is extremely hard to guard against man or zone. And with the outside receivers, I'll either put them on a zig or a slant. Now having those three guys in the backfield on the goal line will cause a lot of problems for your opponent. In a man defense, it's very hard to guard that triangle route, out routes, or just the wheel route, including those two receivers either on a slant or a zig. Those are all man-beating routes. But against a zone, say GG's because someone's going to be open and your opponent is just going to give up on the goal line. But that is the scheme I have for you today. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, please let me know down below.